So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the light.
Well, hello and welcome to the Regional BD Podcast. I'm Mike. This is Brandon. I want to make sure I welcome the Subway JPW folks as well as the Northwoods BD Territory franchisees and managers as well. Thanks for joining us for a podcast. We've got two quick topics for you today, Subway Series and Slicers. So Brandon, why don't you start us off with Subway Series?
Sure. Well, you guys know the new sandwiches on the Subway Series have taken off. We've exceeded our goals so far for the year. The regional performances were just over 20% mix, and that's actually the goal for 2022 is to hit 20% mix. So obviously we're above that. We want to keep going. These checks, the checks on these sandwiches obviously are higher. We make more penny profit, even if with the discount on the add-ons part of it. We take more money to the bank with every increase in mix on these sandwiches. So we really need to be encouraging, training, retraining our people to push, our customers towards this mix. If somebody loves the regular turkey sandwich, try to get them to try the Cali turkey. If somebody loves the steak, try to get them to try the monster or whatever, move people into this part of the menu. So obviously we really have to have friendly, engaging sandwich artists right up front. That first person that takes your order, get them to smile at the customers and say, hey, try this new thing. We've got a couple areas that are lacking a little bit on, our Chicago market's kind of fallen behind a little bit on the mix there. So really concentrate on the communication, on engaging that customer when they walk in the door and trying to encourage them to try something new. The highest performing stores, basically, they just focus on continued training with their people over and over and over again. They also do mystery shops, send some friends in, buy your friend a gift card or whatever for Christmas and say, hey, go shop my store, will ya? And, give me some feedback. Did they encourage the customer to buy one of these, one of the series sandwiches? Are they completing the builds accurately? So those mystery shops, those secret shops, those are really, really important. And then when your team does it right, praise them, give them credit, tell them what a great job they're doing. We need to encourage our employees, encourage our sandwich artists to, feel like they're valued and do some rewards, say, hey, if we hit these goals, we'll get a pizza party or something like that. A little competition between stores if you're a multi-unit owner. So again, our end of year goal is to hit 20%. We're doing that across almost the whole region right now. Again, I think we've got our area near Chicago needs to, bump it up a little bit. Let's encourage our customers and our sandwich artists to push those sandwiches. End of year 2023, by the end of next year, we want to be at 30%. Ultimately, long-term goal is we want 50% of our customers buying off the Subway Series menu. It's not going anywhere. We are trying to get these people to order on a simple, more pre-made, a little bit less custom for those area for these 12 sandwiches, and it's going to grow. There's going to be possibly some new sandwiches added in or taken off until we find the right mix here. So again, every point that we increase our mix for Subway Series, we go up in dollars to the bank. So it's more profit to you at the end of the day, and so let's really encourage that mix to go up as high as possible. So
Subway Series. And don't forget to, sometimes we forget to explain the why. The people that we may hire in 6 months from now may not understand the why. And so don't forget about that and explain it's more efficient for us making sandwiches, and it's also more efficient for the guests who are looking for less interaction and they don't want to be on their phone, their Twitter account, their TikTok account,
right.
Whatever it may be.
And also, we want to showcase our food in the best possible way. Mm-hmm. And really the way these sandwiches are put together, it's to optimize flavor. Yeah. So it's if we want to get the best tasting food in our restaurant into our guests' hands, like this is where the chefs have, Chef Paul at headquarters, they've developed these sandwiches in order to make Subway have the best flavor profile possible. So, that's really why we want to give our guests the best experience possible too, so they come back more and more often. Yeah. So, the fact that we make more profit on those sandwiches, that's awesome. But we want to really giving that guest the best experience. That's really the why to it. So, Mike's going to talk about slicers.
Slicers, yes.
As if we have talked about this continuously the last few months, but
which is why we're not going to spend a ton of time on the why, because there really have been a dozen opportunities between conference calls, both state of the business calls and specific calls. And there was 2 specific just about slicers and why, and then we did some training in the field and held some seminars as well, and slicers were a part of that. So we won't spend a ton of time on the why, but I will say that ultimately the research all pointed to the fact that we have a perception problem, and slicers are going to help bridge that gap, in addition to lowering costs on some of the items that we're going to be slicing, and also having better tasting pepperoni, salami, ham, turkey, package versus sliced right there in the store on the slicer. There's going to be a different taste, a better quality tasting product, period. So let's talk specifically about when slicing begins and the rollout schedule. So when am I going to get my slicer? So take a look at the screen here and you'll see on the map when we are getting. So find your location by DC. Cisco, Illinois in Northwest Illinois is going to be the first. So if you're DC at Cisco, Illinois, you're going to be first in this region to receive your slicers and have them installed. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to start slicing right away, but have them installed. That will be in January. And then for Reinhardt, Shawano, and Oak Creek, we're looking at April. So a little bit of a gap there in the region. And yes, Cisco, Iowa is in June. And so now we know when we're going to get our slicers. When do we start slicing product? So the step 1 is your slicer will be installed. There will be a little bit of basic training that happens once it's installed, but then there is certified training. There's 2 parts to that. And when all of that is accomplished within the region, then IPC will be depleting their current product, and then they'll receive the logs and start shipping them. So there's a good chance that you may run out of turkey first and start getting the log turkey and slicing turkey only, for example, while the other 3 products, pepperoni, salami, and ham, are still coming in sliced. And then the next one will happen, and then all 4 eventually will be sliced in restaurant.
So we're going to run out of pre-sliced before we get the logs. We'll work our way through it. Yes. And we can all bet and assume that a lot of marketing will be focused on the sandwich artists slicing in restaurant. Yeah, we're gonna change that perception. We got to get credit for it. So I'm sure we haven't seen any of those ads or anything like that yet, but I'm guessing it's in the works.
Right. So. Yeah. And if you're curious and like, well, where do I put this thing? Well, that's really a decision between you and our team, but it's ultimately your decision. And I will say, out of the roughly 2,000-ish that have been installed so far, the number is quite high for how many that have been installed in the service area. So if I can assume that customers will see on commercial a slicer, I want to get my biggest bang for my buck there on marketing, and I want customers to come in. They might not necessarily see me slicing in the morning, but they're going to see that slicer in the service area. And so where we have the space, we'll be putting it in the service area, and when we don't have the space, we'll be taking our microwave, putting it in the back room, and putting the slicer in the service area. It is a 110 volt outlet. It's the same outlet that your microwave would be plugged into. So I think that's everything on slicers.
Yep.
And I think we're ready to close.
Yep. Really, I just want to thank you guys all for being part of our Subway family. It's Thanksgiving week, and so we're always, trying to remind ourselves of how to be thankful and grateful for all the blessings in our life. And, obviously, we personally so thankful for our close friends and family and that sort of thing. But professionally, I just am thankful for my franchisees. I think we have some of the best franchisees in the world in this region. I think our numbers back that up, and it's because of the the effort that you guys put into your restaurants every single day, and the care and the pride of ownership that you guys put into it. So so thankful for my local Subway family, from our staff here, and our field consultants, and our directors of operations, and our franchisees, managers, sandwich artists, everybody. We can't do it without you. And so I hope that you guys have a blessed Thanksgiving holiday with your families, and are safe in your travels, and just have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. Thank you.
And after the holidays, we're going to have a regional meeting, so mark your calendars for December 1st to join us. Chicago market's been called out to take their Subway Series and raise the bar, get up from 17.5%,
Right.
18%, get above 20%. So there's a challenge. The rest of us continue over 20%.
So December 1st, 3 p.m. We'll have a get-together call with everybody in the region. So until then, take care, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Subway BD Regional Podcast, a creative approach to communication designed to keep you informed, connected, and equipped. To receive notifications when new episodes are available, select subscribe below. Thanks for all you do, and continue to create great.